There is a new snapshot today. I'm going to go over that in a moment. But first, I found myself back on the Bedrock preview with the Smurf skin still. They added a change here on Bedrock Edition that hasn't appeared on Java, which I think it will be a good idea for them to add to Java Edition. We have a copper golem here. You can see that he's entering a room with a chest inside it. In addition to that, there is a door. And you can see that they can finally fit through 1-block openings with a door in it as well. And that's because Mojang have now shrunken their hitbox a little bit so they can fit through... I don't know why he's not leaving it. All right, come out. Come out. All right, he's coming out now. Okay, close the door. All right, he's going back inside. He opens the door. He still kind of struggles, a bit funky, but he's going to leave the room whenever he wants to. Doesn't have to be a regular chest outside this room. We've been wanting Mojang to change this for quite some time. They've now done that. However, this change is only available on Bedrock right now. The hitbox shrinking is on Java Edition, but they cannot open copper doors. They can open copper doors on Bedrock Edition. So, back on Java Edition, this is Snapshot 25W34B. There was a 34A iteration, but this iteration is just for a realms fix. They have updated the panorama. As you can see, we now have copper golem statues. I think that one's a statue featured inside a plains biome. They seem to be updating the panorama rather frequently now, given that we've got drops on a frequent basis. However, we have a few changes that I want to show you before I jump on the server. I don't really know where my end flash has gone in this snapshot. You can see that the end island does appear pink, but the flash is gone. In the accessibility settings, there is now hide sky flashes, not hide lightning. If you turn this on, that will disable that pink tint that you see all over the end. Yes, so you can still hear the sound like lightning, but the tint is gone. So the second thing is what I have here in my hotbar. We have the new command fetch profile. And what this does is it allows you to grab the profile information of any player you want. So for example, on the stream, I did Fundy, and after a while, it loads that into the game. And that allows you to give yourself the player head of that exact name. So we have the profile UID, we have the name Fundy, run the command, and now you have the player head in your world. This is exactly the same thing as doing player head and then profile. However, doing this does cause a bit of lag. So you can see that it doesn't give you the player head immediately. There is a noticeable latency between running the command and getting the data information. After about 2 seconds, it loads in. So preloading is always handy. It's a good addition to the game. And finally, I wanted to take a bit of time to talk about the new code of conduct thing for Minecraft servers. Essentially what it is when you try to log into a server with a code of conduct, it will show you a bit of text that you have to acknowledge or not acknowledge, after which if you don't, you'll get disconnected. If you acknowledge, you can go into the server. You know, sometimes when you log into a server and there's like a wall of text written on signs most of the time, and you have to read it, follow the rules. This is a very neat in-game alternative to that. So if I disconnect, and I've just changed it and restarted it, so if I go back in and you can see what's going on. It's not centered. You can see there are some control characters there that shouldn't really be there. I'm sure Mojang will fix this at some point. It's just showing that it's a new line.
Server code of conduct. According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway because bees don't care what humans think is impossible. Yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black.
Well, as you can see, it's compatible with narrator. I've got a whole script going on. This is the B-movie script. I've just tacked it on to the server code of conduct. The server properties file has been updated to include a line. There is a line here for enable code of conduct. You just make that true. And then if you go into code of conduct, which is a new directory, and you have a file called en_us.txt or your local language, you plug in whatever you like. You can have fun with this. It doesn't have to be anything serious. Although I think that's the main intention here. I have the near entirety of the B-movie script. There is a limit to the number of characters that you can put in, which is obviously the 16-bit integer limit, after which your game will crash. Still a lot of text, but you know, you never need to do this. And so the flexibility is there if you decide that you wanted to mess with it. Someone's gonna make this animated at some point, right? Somehow.